The unconscious mind. What a fascinating and mysterious part of our brain that we all have, but very few of us are able to enter in it and are able to master it. And even fewer people are able to enter in other people's unconsciousness and to try to help them out. So, why is it important to understand our unconsciousness? And first of all, what is even the unconscious part of our mind? Well, it's a part of our brain, the largest part of our brain, where inside there are all of our hidden fears, all of our hidden desires, pleasures, our limiting beliefs, all of our hidden traumas, why we behave in the way we behave. So it's very important for you to learn about this part of your brain, because if you don't make this unconscious part of your brain conscious, then it will dictate your life and you would call it fate, as Carl Jung famously said. So if you learn how to master the unconscious part of your mind, then you will be more self-aware, then you will be more in peace with yourself. And if you have big goals and big ambitions, then you will be able to achieve them. You'll be more likely to complete your goals and achieve whatever you want in your life. And do you know why? Well, the first reason is because you can make routines and you can make some goals that fit you. You know yourself on a deep level. You would know your insecurities, what you're good at and what you're not good at. So you can make routines and you can change paradigms. If you don't know what a paradigm is, I've made a video some days ago. You can change your paradigms and you can make those routines and those goals in a way that fit you. So then you'll be more likely to achieve those goals and to complete those tasks. Because how many people want to be successful in this world? Well, I would say the majority of the people, right? No one wants to live a miserable life. But then how many people do actually achieve those goals and achieve those dreams and end up exactly where they wanted? Very few, right? Well, because they don't understand themselves. There is something that separates the normal people from the people who end up successful in their life. And it's their mindset. It's their ability to control their mind, to control their thoughts. And even if not everyone is spiritual and not everyone understands certain laws and certain principles, they maybe did this unconsciously. They maybe learned it somewhere, somehow, and then apply it in their life. Because those laws are universal and they apply to everyone, and whether you know them or whether you don't know them. And then another thing is also that they worked harder, but that is another thing. So this is the first reason why you'll become successful and you'll be able to achieve your goals. And the second reason is because you will be more positive. When you know yourself on a deep level and you know what triggers you emotionally and you know your insecurities and on, then you will start avoiding negative circumstances, negative people, and negative thoughts. Because if you live your life with a negative mindset and with a negative energy, then guess what? You will be attracting negative things in your life. But when you know yourself, then you can shift to that and you can start thinking positively. And you can surround yourself with people that you know will give you a positive energy. Then you can surround yourself with positive thoughts, with a positive environment, and on. So this is why it's very important for you to learn how to enter in this unconscious part of your mind. But it's not easy. As I told you before, it's not easy. It requires time, study, and practice. So it's not something that you can learn about today and then tomorrow you can apply it. And then tomorrow you can magically enter in your unconscious and you can start changing your life. No, it doesn't work like that. But with time, with study, with practice, with analysis, then you can start entering there little by little, and you can start knowing yourself on a deep level and even other human beings. So how do we enter in the unconscious? Well, what I did these days, and one of the most effective ways you can actually do it, and also Carl Jung explained this, is to analyze your dreams. And I've been sleeping next to my bed with my phone, or you can also sleep with your book note. And whenever you wake up from a dream, whenever you dream about something, then you need to instantly wake up and write about the dream. But you need to write it in detail. It's not that you say, oh, I was walking down the street and I entered in a restaurant. No, it doesn't work like that. Then you will not be able to understand anything about that dream. Or else you will be able to understand very few things, but not everything. So you want to write your dream in details. I was walking down the street. Okay, I was wearing this. There were this much people around me. They behaved like this. I was in this city. It was this exact time of the day. I entered in this exact restaurant. I did this and that. And write down everything in detail, as I told you. And then try to go to sleep again. If you dream something again, wake up and write it down. I know it's gonna be uncomfortable. I know maybe you won't have a good sleep doing this. But by doing this for like 2 days, 3 days, for a week, or maybe you do it only 2 days a week for the rest of the month. And when you wake up, when you'll be fully awake, then you can analyze those dreams. You can sit down. Maybe you don't analyze them yourself, but with the help of the Carl Jung's book, or with the help of the internet, or whatever, maybe even your own knowledge, because it is better for you to do it yourself, because you know yourself more deeply. Even if right now you don't know yourself on a very deep level, you don't know maybe the unconsciousness, you know yourself more. You know your memories, your thoughts, your beliefs. But with the help of yourself, of your memory, and of the internet, of Carl Jung's book, then you can slowly start to understand the meaning behind those dreams. And when you have the full context of that dream, then it will be better for you to understand some hidden meanings. You'll be able to understand what is going on right now in your life. What are you afraid the most? What is your brain trying to fight that you're probably not aware of? You will start to understand a lot of things that you didn't pay attention to, that you weren't aware. So this is the first thing, to analyze your dreams. And there's more stuff that I can go on and talk to you about, but it will be a very, very long video. And the second thing that you want to do to start learning more about your unconsciousness is to write down what irritates you in other people. When someone says something to you, even a small thing, you need to pay more attention to those small things, to those small triggers. Whenever somebody says something small to you, or does something that you would say it's a small thing, and you're much more irritable, and you get angry about it, and it shakes you emotionally. You don't necessarily have to be angry about it, but it shakes you emotionally. Then you need to write it down, or at least remember it, and reflect on that thing. Ask yourself, what part of this, or what part of them already exists in me that maybe I don't like? Or why do I feel exactly like this at such a small thing, such a small trigger? By answering yourself those questions, then you will slowly start to understand more about certain hidden things, as I told you, about your unconsciousness. And then the third thing, it will be to study, read Carl Jung, or even watch the videos on my channel and on TikTok, because I post a lot about psychology, a lot about human behaviors, a lot about even those things, the secret of the human mind. I'm starting to become more spiritual. So some of the things I know, I share it online. So you want to have a baseline of psychology, of human behaviors, to be able to better understand those things and to be able to better answer yourself and do some self-analysis. So the third thing, as I told you, was to study and to see the videos of my channel. And the fourth and last thing is to try to write down your emotions and your insecurities. Try to write them down. Try to go back in your memory and in your thoughts and try to actually respond to what is my biggest insecurity. I've made a video on YouTube about how to discover someone else's insecurities. It was my first video on YouTube, I think. It was like 2 months ago. But you can ask those same questions, basically, even on yourself. And the most common insecurities are 6. They are acceptance, significance, intelligence, power, pity, and approval. So whenever of those 6 things, you want to identify it in yourself. You want to understand what of those 6 things can be your insecurity. It can even be multiple things. But you want to just do some self-analysis. And this is something that you can do even right away. Even if you don't really have a really big knowledge about the unconscious. So, yeah, this is how you can enter your unconscious mind. And I haven't really gone even that deep actually. But if you'd like to know more about the unconscious and how to actually rewire your brain to be successful, to achieve your goals, or maybe you have some questions, then write them down and follow this account because I'll be posting more exclusive content.